Hello everyone, my name is Gilgamesh V9. This is episode 2 of Mass Effect 3 Multiplayer Guides. This episode focuses on tips to help beginners survive and do well. Let's get started. First up, use cover. This might seem obvious, but you'd be surprised how often people forget this. Staying in cover will shield you from enemy fire and increase weapon accuracy. Moving from cover to cover is important as it allows you to remain mobile and stay protected. Next up, aim for the head. Again, this might be a no-brainer, but a successful headshot will provide a significant damage boost, which means you can take down enemies faster. Hitting enemies in the head may not kill them immediately, but will often stagger them, allowing for more ease in combat. It is worth noting that boss enemies do not take headshot damage. These bosses are Atlas, Geth Primes, and Banshees. Also, never try for a headshot if you can't make it. It's better to get a body shot than miss. Third, manage your cooldown. Your cooldown is the value displayed on the weapon screen. The weight cooldown system was introduced in Mass Effect 3 and is quite simple to understand. All weapons have weight, and the heavier your weapon loadout, the higher your cooldown. The value you see in the weapon selection screen is your cooldown multiplier, between negative 200% and positive 200%. This means your power's cooldowns can be affected by either 3 times as long or 3 times as short. Obviously, your cooldown should be as low as possible for power-oriented classes like the Adept or Engineer, but for classes like the Soldier or Infiltrator, the cooldown is not as important. Next, stick close to your teammates. This way, if you go down, they revive you more easily, and you won't be caught alone and surrounded. This also allows for easier power combos, which I'll cover in a later episode. Next, don't be afraid to use your consumables. You have 4 consumables at your disposal. Metagel, which can be used to revive yourself if you've been taken down and your teammates can't revive you. Thermal clips, which refill your ammo and grenade stocks instantly. Op survival packs completely refill your health and shields during a firefight, which can be incredibly useful. And lastly, Cobra missiles, which will deal massive damage to targets in an area and can be used to take out large groups of enemies or bosses very quickly. You can use 2 of each of these consumables per match, but this can be upgraded with capacity bonuses from the store. Know your role. This is very important to know before playing any class. Soldiers are best suited at close to mid-range, dealing a lot of damage and suppressing the enemy. Vanguards should be in close quarters constantly, disrupting enemy lines and taking out smaller foot soldiers quickly before taking damage from larger enemies. Infiltrators are great for dealing high amounts of damage to one target. Tactical Cloak gives an immense damage bonus for 1 or 2 shots while it's active, so this should be used dealing massive damage to larger enemies and bosses. Adepts, Sentinels, and Engineers focuses on crowd control and support. The wide range of powers often deal damage over time, area of effect damage, and will debuff enemies, allowing for more damage and faster kills. A good team will use a mixture of classes to ensure synergy and teamwork. Next, know your enemy. This is very important when deciding what weapons to equip, what equipment to bring, and which class and powers to use. Cerberus uses a lot of foot soldiers and rely on shields. Geth rely on shields primarily and are synthetic, meaning powers such as Overload and Energy Drain are highly effective. Reapers rely mainly on armor, so equipping armor-piercing rounds and penetration attachments is highly recommended. Last, have fun. This is really obvious, but don't take the game too seriously. You should always be enjoying yourself. Getting a group of friends together and messing around is a great way to relax after having a rough game. Seriously, Vanguard-only matches, tons of fun. Well, that's it for this episode. I hope you learned a few things, and I'll see you on the battlefield. Gilgamesh out.